Today on the Matt and Ann Show, we welcome the star of Nightmare Neighborhood Moms, Gina Sims. Welcome to the show, Gina.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. This is so much fun.
We want to get right into it. How'd you get into acting?
Oh gosh. As a little girl, my best friend was on a TV show called Punky Brewster. And we all lived in San Diego, and I was so jealous. And my mom was too nervous to ever drive to Los Angeles. So she put me into theater, and I loved it so much. So I got my equity card. And when I was 18, I said, I'm moving to Los Angeles and I'm going to do this. So with 5 of my friends, we all moved to LA. We all wanted to be actors. And I ended up getting a job with Radio City because I'm a dancer. And that took me out of state, and I performed with Radio City Rockettes for a long time, and ended up getting married, finishing college, opening up a dance school. And I just never had time to return to what I really loved. And then I came back and took classes where I really wanted to train in Los Angeles with Howard Fine, and ended up putting myself out there. And I auditioned for it. This was actually called Crazy Neighborhood Moms for the longest time. And this was a shock to the whole cast and crew that it changed to Nightmare Neighborhood Moms. We had a really good laugh about that. We're like, who's the nightmare? Are we all the nightmare? So we just had a really good time. It was a wonderful cast. And yeah, we're all just still friends and on a group text and still talking about it today.
How did the role come your way? Did you try out, or did they already have you in mind for it?
Well, that's a good question. I saw the post myself on a casting notice, and I was actually filming another Lifetime movie at the time. I was the mom. I actually saved the day in this one. So when I saw this role, I read the entire script, and I loved the script.
Yeah.
I found who the writer was. The writer is a girl named Melissa Casera, and she writes a lot of Lifetime movies. And I took a moment to really think about the script, because I'm a former dancer. So I've been around dance moms my whole life, and you know how that might be.
Yeah.
And I'm a pageant girl. I was Miss Los Angeles. I was Miss Nevada. And that's a big world that would have a lot of Bonnies. So I knew this character and I loved this character. And so I ended up going out and buying something that would remind me. And it's right here. It's a little bee necklace, because it said Bonnie was the neighborhood bee, and she kept everybody in line. And so I kept that, and I left it on my nightstand, and I said, I can always return it if I don't get this role. But I kept it, and I did what I've really never did. I took a chance. And in turning in my audition, the slate that's right before that, you say your name and where you come from and all that, I was very sassy. And I had Bonnie from the moment I opened my mouth, because I knew Bonnie. And I just said, in my slate, I said, I'm from Los Angeles. I thought you knew that. And then I started my audition, and I ended up talking with the casting director after he booked me, and he said, we all loved you from your slate. And I remember turning that audition in, and I thought, well, this is either going to fly or it'll total flop. But I just said, you know what, you got to do what you just got to be creative and put yourself out there. And yeah, it was one of the best memories I've ever had, was going to Georgia and filming with that entire cast.
Can you tell us a little bit about Nightmare Neighborhood Moms without spoiling it? Because I discovered it first, and then I put him onto it. I even put my mom onto it. We all love it. So can you describe a little bit what the plot is?
Sure. Well, it depends who you ask, because you know what I've learned in my acting training is that we are to justify every character. We justify because in real life, we don't judge ourselves. We go by our intentions. Why are we doing something? And other people see us from our actions. So I justified Bonnie the whole time. So when the crew was saying, oh, you're so mean, I said, I'm the good one. I'm keeping the whole neighborhood safe. My husband was the one that was bad. I wouldn't have had to do any of this if my husband was fine and really loved me and was faithful. So I the whole time everybody was a little like, whoa, where's Bonnie? But I had justified her so clearly that so okay, so the plot is the movie opens and I'm in the house of the girl who's cheating with my husband, and she's calling him, and she's in this negligee and she looks gorgeous and she's so beautiful, and I'm standing there waiting for her and she calls me the B word, and like a jolt, I just clicked the clicker, and I have never fired a gun before, and there she goes down.
When I saw that scene, I was hooked.
What have I done? And so I had to cover my tracks, of course. So I had to run and pretend like somebody had broken into her house. And then the movie unfolds with Charlotte moving into her house. And Charlotte's after my husband, after he's cheated on me. Now he's doing the same thing with her. Wow. So I have to bring in my girlfriends and say, no, this neighborhood is going to be safe. And I'm going to make sure. It was my job as the queen bee to make sure everybody was safe. Well, it didn't go to plan. So she ends up working for the same cosmetic company that I'm working for, and she's beating me. So I have to one up her, and I have to win. I have to win the car. I don't want her to win because she's after my husband. So I have to divulge this whole plot to get her out of meeting with the boss. I don't want her to meet with the boss. That's my job. I'm the queen bee. So I had to put her in a shed, and just keep her in a shed just long enough for me to get the job. And finally I get the job, and then it all unfoils, and she comes in and sees my whole plot, and that's how it unfolds. But it never says if I die or go to jail or anything. So we're hoping for a part 2.
Oh, let's go. Let's get part 2. Everyone, go
Come
watch
on,
it and make a part 2.
That's good.
Doing another film or another TV show, or are you working on anything right now?
On a television show?
Yes, yeah. Television show, film, or anything like a podcast right now?
Oh, sure. So, the pandemic really made me think, what do I want to do? If this career if I was not able to be I like acting, but I found that I love actors. And I'm a teacher. I've taught dance my whole life, tap, jazz, ballet, gymnastics, to kids all the way to adults. And during the pandemic, I have helped put together a curriculum for kids, an acting curriculum that is so stellar. And I have tested it out with some of my former dance students, and I've just seen them. They have agents and they're going out, and that's my heart. I love kids. I'm great with kids. And so yeah, that, and also screenwriting. I wrote a script and it's in film festivals right now. So just seeing where that develops. And that was probably the hardest thing I've ever done, was sit still and write a screenplay. And knowing that it changes 5,000 times, it was just so much for me. But I'm so glad I did it. And it might be my last, who knows? But I'm glad I finished that. So
we hope to see that pretty soon.
Yeah, that would be amazing. But I would really, in my heart of hearts, I would love to be on a television show that has 5,000 seasons, and I get to develop a character and be there for years and years and years. I think that'd be great to be an FBI agent, or a CIA, or somebody undercover like a detective. That would be really fun.
Would you ever write something like that and put yourself in that?
Would you ever write a TV show like that for yourself, maybe? Because we know you wrote your own screenplay. Would you ever write a TV show, maybe, as you as the lead, as an FBI detective?
I would love that, but it is probably the hardest creative job ever, to be a writer. I have so much respect now for writers going through it. And my training for acting has always been be word perfect so that you can honor the writer. And now I really understand what that is, because you don't change Shakespeare. If you're doing Shakespeare, you got to say it word for word. So honoring the writer is something that I think I've learned a lot.
You were saying that you are a former pageant winner. You won Miss LA. I know you won Miss Nevada, and you competed in Miss USA and Miss America.
Yes.
I had a friend that was in pageants. They're crazy. How did you get into it?
Oh, when I was a little girl, my mom and dad had a black and white television. And I would watch Miss USA with my mom, and I would just wonder what color the girls were wearing, because they all looked so beautiful. And I thought, oh, maybe that's red, or, and it wasn't until after high school that I found out that I could do that. And there was opportunities and scholarships. And so I became Miss Los Angeles. I competed at Miss California, and then I moved to Las Vegas, became Miss Las Vegas, Miss Nevada, got my whole college paid for by Miss America. And then I went to compete again for Miss Nevada, for Miss USA, which was always my heart, because I wanted to wear those beautiful colors on stage. And I love wearing eyelashes and just, the girly girls and the heels. And I had a whole plethora of new friends that loved the same thing. So Miss USA was a really great time. It's when Trump owned Miss USA. So he was there, and I have a picture with him and Melania. And yeah, I always wonder, because I heard that he picked the top 10 and I was one of the top 3. So I always wonder if he picked me, or if I got there by my question. I'll never know.
I don't know. You say that you get all these factors, but what would you say to somebody that maybe be in your position? That maybe you want to be an actor, or maybe you want to be
In a pageant.
What would you say to that person that maybe in your shoes?
What would you say to the person that would want to be a pageant or an actress that was in your type of shoes?
I would say go for it. You never know until you try. We're not guaranteed tomorrow. So why not just go out, do everything until you find out, maybe this isn't I'm so glad I tried screenwriting, because I went, oh yeah, no, I don't know that this is right for me. But acting and creating, oh, it just is so wonderful. And then being with kids and helping them. I pageant coached for a long time, helping girls, go on to pageants and helping them find their right outfits and their hair and all of that. And I really love that.
We were just talking, you were in pageants, you've been an actress, you wrote screenplays. You were also an anchor on a station in Las Vegas too.
Yes.
Could you tell us a little bit about that?
That is also another screenwriting moment in my life, because I was graduating from college, and I had to do my last semester was an internship. And so I did it at Channel 3, which was NBC in Las Vegas. And just interning and having a great time. And they were losing their meteorologist, and they said, oh, do you think you could do it? And I said, of course. So I made a video of over here, it's raining, and over, I just was being a goofball, and they loved it. And they put me on the air, and it was terrifying. It was terrifying because nobody was in the room, and there was just a little red light. And I didn't know the subject matter, because I'm not a meteorologist, although there is no weather really in Vegas. It's hot. So I would stay up all night, and I would watch the Weather Channel, and I would write down what they said, and I would post it on the sides where you couldn't see, and I would read it. And I would read what somebody else wrote. And I was such a fraud. I told them it wasn't for me. And then I was going to Miss USA. So that was the end of that. But yeah, that was my anchoring days. And I just found out that's not something I wanted to do. But I'm glad I tried it, because I would have never known.
Could we see you run for president next, since you've done literally every single thing you could possibly do?
Yeah, I'm not sure that I would want to do that job. Maybe in a movie.
People cast her in the movie for the first female president.
There we go. Yes. Yes.
Do you have anything coming up or you're working on?
Anything right now I'm working on?
Yes.
Yeah. So I just finished creating the curriculum for the kids acting class. And I'm waiting to hear back from the film festival, which is May 7th, to see if I'm one of the nominees, to see if I won. But right now I'm just like every other actor. I am auditioning and seeing what's next.
Is there a role that you might want that out there right now?
Oh, the series, The Blacklist. Did you guys see that?
Yes.
That was one of my favorites. Just love that. Did you see? Yeah, you like that one. And Person of Interest. Did you guys see that one with Caviezel?
Yeah.
I loved those. So something along those lines. I know there's NCIS. I've auditioned for that. SEAL Team. I've auditioned for that. I wouldn't even mind being on a soap opera, because I mean, the longevity of a soap opera, I'm in.
Absolutely. And after seeing Nightmare Neighborhood Moms, you're gonna be perfect. You'll be perfect.
It's fun. My son, he's now 19. When he was 3 years old, he was on General Hospital for a long time. He was the main actor's son. So I was set mom for a while, and that was interesting because I wanted to do what he was doing.
Is he still in acting, or?
No, he grew up and thought, nah, I want to try something else. Maybe he'll return. Who knows?
What are you doing now?
My son?
Yeah.
Yeah. So right now I have a 19-year-old and a 17-year-old, and they're both homeschooled, and they are getting their AA degree in 3 weeks from our local community college. And that's what they're doing. They're graduating and figuring out what they want to do.
That's awesome. That's absolutely awesome.
So much choice out there.
We want to thank you for coming on today. It's an absolute honor. Everybody go check out Gina Sims as Bonnie in Nightmare Neighborhood Moms. Phenomenal. We're putting everyone onto it because it's worth the watch. Make a sequel. Gina Sims, everyone. Where can everybody find you on socials and maybe your website?
Yeah, I'm on, Instagram, Gina__Sims.
Okay.
Or I have a website, GinaSims.com.
Awesome. Everybody go check it out. Gina Sims, everyone.
Thanks, guys.